क्या आप आईएएस की तैयारी कर रहे हैं और कोचिंग इंस्टीट्यूट्स को 2.5 लाख तक की फीस नहीं पे करना चाहते? अगर हाँ, तो 22,500 रुपए में घर बैठ के स्टडीआईक्यू के पेनड्राइव कोर्स के साथ आप आईएएस की तैयारी कर सकते हैं। आज ही विजिट करें studyIQ.com।
Hello friends and welcome to Study IQ. In this lecture, we will discuss about the hike in the interest rates of small savings schemes. The government has recently increased the interest rates of the small savings schemes, and in this lecture we will see what is the interest hike on various small savings schemes. We will also see how is this revision of the interest rates done, and also how it is going to impact the investors of the small savings schemes, also the scheduled commercial banks and the interest rates of the banks, and how this will impact the money supply in the economy. So we will start. First of all, let us see what is small savings. Small savings in India is a very important source of household savings. So for households in India, small savings schemes provide a source of saving their financial resources. Examples of small savings schemes are Kisan Vikas Patra, Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana, Public Provident Fund Scheme, etc. So all these schemes provide an opportunity for the general public in the Indian economy to save their financial resources. So most of the households are low income households, and therefore they will have only lesser money to save. So they can mobilize this and save it in small saving schemes. So therefore in the Indian context, small saving schemes are very important for Indian households. Now the current affair is that the government has increased the interest rates of various small saving schemes for the third quarter by 30 to 40 basis points. The third quarter means Q3, which starts from October and ends in December. So it is for the third quarter, that is for the period of October to December, that the government has increased the interest rates on this small saving schemes, and it is by 30 to 40 basis points. Now let us see how is this revision of the interest rates done. First of all, the frequency is on a quarterly basis. So every quarter the government revises the interest rates on the small saving schemes. Now the revision has been done for Q3 or third quarter of the financial year, which starts in the month of October and ends in December. So it is for Q3, and again in the Q4 the government will again revise the interest rates for the small saving schemes. And on what benchmark is the interest rates revised? It is linked to the government bond yields. So according to the government bond yield changes, the interest rates for the small saving schemes are also revised. So the benchmark is government bond yields, and because the interest rates of this small saving schemes are linked to the government bond yields, there is a challenge also. The challenge is that it is not predictable that whether the interest rates on the small saving schemes will increase or decrease or even remain unchanged for the next quarter. So every quarter it is revised, and the revision is done on the basis of the government bond yield. So according to the changes in the government bond yields, the interest rates of the small saving schemes will also change. So there is an unpredictability. Now let us have a look at the changes made. In case of 1 year time deposit, the interest rate has been hiked to 6.9% from 6.6. 2 year time deposit, 6.7 was the earlier rate, now it is 7.0. 3 year time deposit, it has been increased to 7.2 from 6.9. 5 year time deposit, it has been increased to 7.8 from 7.4. 5 year recurring deposit, it has been increased to 7.3 from 6.9. 5 year senior citizen savings scheme increased to 8.7 from 8.3. 5 year monthly income account 7.7 from 7.3. 5 year national savings certificate 8% from 7.6%. Public provident fund scheme 7.6 was the earlier rate, now it is 8%. Now Kisan Vikas Patra, earlier the percentage of interest was 7.3, that means it will take 118 months to mature. Now interest rate hiked to 7.7%, which means the maturity period has come down to 112 months. Sukanya Samriddhi account scheme, earlier interest rate was 8.1%, now it is 8.5%. So from these schemes, it is very clear that the small saving schemes will benefit what category of general public? The fixed income investors, the senior citizens, low income households, farmers, etc. So the low income category of the economy is mainly benefited out of small saving schemes. Now let us see how this interest change will impact the investors of the small saving schemes. As we have already discussed, the investors of the small saving schemes are mainly fixed income investors, senior citizens, low income households, farmers, etc. So how would this interest rate change would impact them? The fixed income investors will definitely gain out of it, because when the interest rate has gone up, their returns will increase. So interest is the return for them from this small saving schemes. So when the interest increases, it means the returns on their investment has also increased. Therefore, they will get more returns. That means their income will increase. Now, how this will impact the bank's interest rates or the scheduled commercial bank's interest rate? Now the interest on the small saving schemes has increased. Therefore, the banks also will be compelled to increase their interest rates on fixed deposits and also savings account deposits, especially the savings account deposits, because when the small savings schemes are providing more interest, the banks will also provide interest rates on a higher percentage. So the interest rates in the scheduled commercial banks also will go up. There will be an upside pressure for the scheduled commercial banks to increase their interest rates. And one more important factor here is that along with an increase in the interest rates of small saving schemes, remember that the Monetary Policy Committee in its two previous meetings has consecutively increased the interest rates. So the monetary policy also increased the repo rates in the two consecutive meetings of the Monetary Policy Committee. So with this increase in the repo rates itself, the interest rates in the commercial banks have gone up, and along with this, the small saving schemes interest rates will again increase the interest rates in the commercial banks. Now, what impact will this make on the money supply in the economy? This is the most important part. We have seen that the scheduled commercial banks will increase the interest rates with an increase in the interest rates of small saving schemes. And already the Monetary Policy Committee had increased the interest rates in its two meetings. So the overall impact on the scheduled commercial banks is that they will hike the interest rates. So now the scheduled commercial banks will increase the interest rates on their savings deposit accounts and also fixed deposit accounts. That means the banks will have to give more rate of interest or more returns to the investors or depositors. And on the other part, the bank also has borrowers. And before coming to the borrowers, we should be clear with the idea of spread. What is the spread or profit margin of a bank? For a commercial bank, its profit margin is the difference between the interest given on deposits and the interest received from the borrowers. So definitely the interest charged from the borrowers will be more than the interest given to the depositors. So borrowers will be charged more interest than the depositors. And now with an increase in the interest rates in monetary policy and also small saving schemes, the banks are providing more interest to the depositors. So when bank will have to spend more money on the depositors, what will the bank do? They will charge more from the borrowers, that is from the loans. So what will happen as a result of this? Loans become expensive or the interest rates on the loans will increase. Now when the interest rates on the loans increases, what will happen? There will be lesser borrowings, and lesser borrowings means money supply will come down. So lesser borrowings will lead to decrease in the money supply in the economy. And when money supply decreases, what will happen? The spending or consumption will decrease. The spending will come down and also when borrowings comes down, the investment in the economy, that is the private investment will come down. Now let us analyze both this. When the spending comes down, what will happen? The demand of the general public, that is aggregate demand, will come down. When aggregate demand is lesser in the economy, the output or the production will also come down. So when output comes down, the GDP comes down, therefore the growth of the economy will also come down. Again, investment. When the investment comes down, there will be lesser production leading to lesser output, which will again decrease the GDP value. That means the growth comes down. So as an impact of reduction in money supply, the economic growth will come down. And one major impact of increase in the interest rates is that the money supply will come down. So whenever there is an interest rate hike, remember that the money supply will come down in an economy, and therefore the economic growth will come down. So this increase in the interest rates of the small saving schemes coupled with the increase in the interest rates by the RBI will definitely decrease the money supply in the economy. You can find the PDF of this lecture on my Facebook page. Thank you.
क्या आप आईएएस की तैयारी कर रहे हैं और कोचिंग इंस्टीट्यूट्स को 2.5 लाख तक की फीस नहीं पे करना चाहते? अगर हाँ, तो 22,500 रुपए में घर बैठ के StudyIQ के पेन ड्राइव कोर्स के साथ आप आईएएस की तैयारी कर सकते हैं। आज ही विजिट करें studyIQ.com।